welcome back, and if you're new here, welcome. This month I'm taking part in Realmathon, which is a team-based competitive readathon with a ton of prompts which you can assign to books to get points. But my team, the Ravens, or the team I'm on, the Ravens, they have two special prompts, one of which is book on a list and one of which is a character with a secret. So Leica and I are here to give you a list of books which I may or may not get to in March, of books where the character is hiding a secret. So I'm going to go in order of most likely to least likely to read, and I'm going to start with a book which I found on a list of books about characters with secrets. Like, you're kind of taking up all the shop. I know, you're beautiful. And that is Queen of the Night by Alexander Chee. And this is a historical set in the world of Paris opera in the late 19th century. It's someone who has a murky childhood hidden in the depths of time, and someone's found out about it, and they're making an opera about her childhood for her to sing. And it's just like, I find it really engaging. I've started this already. I'm finding it really engaging, really exciting, and I'm intrigued to see where it goes from here. The second is, and I've already shown you this book, Pride and Prejudice in Space by Alexis Lampley. This is a really gorgeous book with lots of illustrations and these gorgeous sort of chapter titles, and yeah, it's really beautiful book. So in Pride and Prejudice, there are a family of daughters who need to get married for, I'm not quite sure why in the sci-fi world, but for historical reasons at the time it was more secure long-term for a woman if she was married. And so a couple of eligible bachelors move in and they meet them, and then there's romance and shenanigans. But one of the main characters, Fitzwilliam Darcy, has a sister, Georgiana, and between them they keep, it's really Georgiana's secret, but Fitzwilliam's hiding it too, and that's a really important plot point. And I think that this book is a pretty much faithful retelling, just set in a different universe. So it'll be interesting to see how they mould that. But I think that Georgiana's secret is going to be important in this one as well. The next book I have for you is Blood Scion by Deborah Falaio. This was my calendar book for the month, and it's a very limited edition, so it's really pretty again. The book's hiding a beautiful undercover. But this is a magical, a living inferno, a dead girl walking. This is a magical protagonist in a world where magic is banned. So her secret is basically that she is super powered, and I've heard good things about it. I'm optimistic. I think I've bounced off it once already, but I am optimistic that I will enjoy it, so I'm hoping to get to that. We've got Dark Truths by Catherine Kerwin, and this one is an ebook again. This is the first in a series of crime books about a lawyer, a Dublin lawyer, who she doesn't work in crime, she works in property law. But she herself has a bit of a mixed dark past, which she doesn't really want to tell to all her clients, or especially not her clients, but all her partners. And she's got, I think the first book is like a sex trafficking ring or something that she unearths. And so obviously in crime there's always a lot of secrets going on, and I feel like there are extra ones in this particular series. So I've got some extra physical books. As Good as Dead by Holly Jackson. Look at this. I mean, this is just a normal edition, but again, it is beautiful. And this is it's the third in the Good Girl's Guide to Murder book. So again, I think she herself has been kidnapped in this book. So it might be the identity of the kidnapper that's a secret, but I think that she herself has secrets which are going to get unearthed in this book. Now let's look at the blurb. I've made it no secret that As Good as Dead is my favourite book of the trilogy. For me, As Good as Dead is the only possible conclusion for Pip, the protagonist, how this story was always meant to come. Was always meant to end. That doesn't really say anything, does it, about Pip's back, and this time the case is all about her. So I think that Pip has a secret that's going to come out in this, and I'm really excited to learn what it is. The Mask by Dean Koontz. This is one where a couple who have no children suddenly meet this I think she's a teenage girl, but they suddenly meet a girl in the middle of nowhere, and something's happened to her, but no one knows what, and they end up adopting this girl. So the secret is her backstories. It sounds like there might be a haunted house issue on this. It might lean more haunted house than straight horror. There's a bloody face in the mirror, there's like fear and deja vu, and Dean Koontz, in my experience, is really good at atmosphere. I haven't read any for a very long time, but I'm hoping that I still feel that sense of like fear and that like pulse that you get from a really good horror, and I'm hoping that we learn where Jane came from, and that's the name of the teenager, where she came from and what her secrets are. Sorrowland by Rivers Solomon. I think this is sci-fi, but it might veer more to the fantasy side. This is someone who is trying to escape probably a cult, some kind of religious unhealthy area, and her body undergoes a mesmerizing metamorphosis. So that's where I'm thinking the secrets are here, and it's gothic, it's going to have issues of racism and marginalisation, it might have a bit of body horror in, it's certainly going to have a sense of body and of self, which is a thing which Solomon does really, really well. And Solomon themselves is such a lovely human being. You could not hope to meet a nicer person. And I am very excited for this, and I have no idea why I haven't got around to it so far. So I think that's probably a yes. I've got Fake Dates and Mooncakes by Cher Lee. And this is a fake dating romance book. I don't know whether I'll feel like a romance book, but I thought I'd pick it up and recommend it just in case you feel like it. I think this one came to us in an Owl Crate, possibly as an Owl Crate extra book. So there's two. There's a rich person who needs a fake date for his family's wedding, and there's a poor one who's entering a mooncake competition and can't afford to be distracted. And then you've got this as I say, this fake date which they've put on. So I think it's Fake Date to Lovers, which is fairly standard trope, and I often, I feel like I wouldn't, but I often do enjoy them. So yeah, as I said, I don't know whether I'm going to feel like romance, but if you feel like a romance with a secret, this one is maybe a good choice. I also have Whiskey Tender, which I am definitely going to read, but I'm not quite sure. I thought this was going to have... So this is a memoir of someone my age who grew up she's Indigenous, but she's from two different nations. So she grew up on a reservation at a time when everyone on the reservation kind of wanted her to be one thing, and she wasn't. And her mother's ancestors kind of pushed down their Indigenousness and kind of lent on the Spanish side. So I think that's the secret, but I'm really not sure whether it does count as for a secret or not. I'm going to read it either way. I've already started, again, it's another one I've already started. It's I'm not the target audience. This is a book of, she says, well, everyone's got a story like mine. There are so many people whose stories sound like mine. It's not special, it's not exciting, but it is for the people who are growing up to be able to, because no one told their story to me, so it's for them to be able to see representation. And I just feel really lucky and blessed that because it's published, I get to follow along. And so this is a really gripping memoir. I'm about a third of the way through, and and actually I think, thinking about it, the more I say it, I think her mother's family sort of pushing down their indigenousness is a secret that I think probably counts. And I think I had one more. Sweet Bee by S.J. Skews. And this is a thriller which I found on a list of best thrillers, which is about someone who, she hasn't killed for 3 years. She's doing really well, but she's addicted to killing. And every time someone is kind of annoying to her, just like little things, like someone helps her with her shopping, but puts things in the wrong order, or that, she takes revenge. So this is someone who's addicted to killing, and I think possibly she has to hide that from her family and friends, who would not understand, because why would you understand? And I'm not quite sure, the premise doesn't sound utterly gripping as I say it, but I've heard that it is actually really, really gripping and possibly light-hearted. I'm expecting it to have some really good writing, and to perhaps be more character-led rather than plot-led. So I will see how that goes. But yeah, I'm expecting Rhiannon, that's our protagonist, to be really engaging and personable, and to kind of delve into her secrets in that way, or kind of bring up questions about society and identity and morality and all that stuff. But she definitely has a secret, because that has to be a secret if that's a thing. I don't think it's a thing, but if it was, you'd have to have a secret. So that is 10 books, my list of 10 books with a character with a secret, and I would love to hear your recommendations. If you have them, just pop them down below, and I will see you soon. Bye.